Welcome and thanks for joining. Today's topic is the parent's role in the recruiting process, brought to you from the experts at NCSA. My name is Paul Putnam and I'm a Director of Recruiting Education at NCSA. My athletic career started as a Division I athlete, a coach, as well as owning Basic Sports Medicine, a performance company that was located on the campus of Weber State University, where we trained all the athletes at Weber State, as well as a lot of NFL and Olympic athletes. In 2009, I joined NCSA to help high school athletes through their recruiting journey. So here's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the timeline. We're going to be talking about what you as a parent should let your kids do and take ownership in the recruiting process. We're going to be talking about what a parent's role is in the recruiting process and things that you should be doing, as well as parenting that high-performance athlete. So when will the process start and what will or should be happening? So if you're an underclassman or starting in 8th grade, they might start getting camp invites, questionnaires, general information about the schools. And this is going to continue on through their 9th grade and sophomore year. In most cases, college coaches can start searching profiles, watch videos, checking grades. Although they may not be able to have direct communications or contact with the athletes, they can start to look at lists and develop and start to discover some talent. So once you have an upperclassman, a junior or a senior, college coaches can start having contact with them through emails, texts, phone calls, direct messaging, and social media and such. So a lot will be happening, and there's a lot of things that your family can do to get prepared for the recruiting process. It's important to note, though, that there are going to be some things that you need to let your student athlete take ownership of. For example, writing emails to college coaches. You can send, even as an underclassman, emails and messaging through the NCSA platform. Same goes for phone calls. You can help them get prepared with a list of coaches that they should contact and maybe a list of questions that they should be asking. You can role play with them, but again, they must be the ones on the phone call or on the phone with the coach. If and when you take college visits, whether it's an official visit or unofficial visit, you need to let your student athlete take command and charge of that visit, whether it's speaking to college coaches or other people associated with the program. Same goes for club and high school coaches. Now, keep in mind that high school is a great time for your athletes to start to develop their skills and work directly with their coach to help them know the things that they want them to do to help them in the recruiting process. And finally, your student athlete's list of schools should be their own. Try to avoid pushing them towards a certain school that you want to go to or where you want to root for. Again, this is their journey. But there are some things that you as a parent can and should do to help them prepare for the recruiting process. For example, make sure they focus on their academics. Many student athletes are going to receive more funding academically than they're going to receive athletically. They need to treat their academics and their GPA as their own personal bank account. It's hard to recruit athletes if they don't have good grades. Helping them understand the impact of their college decision is so important, as it's a 4 for 40, meaning that the 4 years of college are going to impact the next 40 years of their life. So think about which schools and programs that your child is going to be most successful in. Think about it. Most athletes are not going to go pro. My next tip for you is make that drive home from practice a positive and supportive time for your athlete. They are overwhelmed. A lot of athletes have a couple of head coaches, for example. They've got the one on the field that they're trying to do and follow their direction while they're in the car talking to their other head coach and trying to please them. Don't be that coach. Be a parent. Love your child and tell them that you love to watch them play, you love to watch them run, and that you love to watch them swim. That's a role that you need to play. So again, make that ride home from practice a ride home from practice. Here's another thing. Try not to pressure your kids towards a certain school. Your alma mater shouldn't have to be their alma mater. Let them pick and choose the schools because they have to love it for their athletics, academics, as well as the social life that they're going to experience. Hey, and guess what? You can tailgate anywhere. The next thing I want you to keep in mind is that this should be an exciting time for your student athlete. This is the most important time of their life and a very, very big decision. It doesn't matter which division they go to, whether it's a Division I, Division II, or Division III. I can promise you this. When they put that jersey on, even if it's at a smaller division school, somewhere down the road in about 20 years after graduation, that jersey is going to be hanging in a shadow box somewhere in their office, and they're going to hold all their memories and all the fun times that they had. Now parents, here's a big one for you. Be aware of your sideline behavior. If you start to scream things at the coach or the referees, you know what? They're in the game. They may not even be able to hear you, but you know who can hear you? The college coach sitting 3 rows down from you. Maybe the head coach's wife. That could have an impact upon your son's playing ability, where they play, and most importantly, it can cost them a scholarship because of your behavior. Your son knows your voice, so he certainly is going to hear you. Keep this about them and let their experience be joyful. There's a joke amongst a lot of coaches. We often tell athletes that if they want to run 2/10 faster, just have their dads time them. They're always going to be able to run faster or jump higher if their parents are involved. Get a third-party evaluation. Understand where your son or your daughter can play, because what's most important is the perfect fit for them athletically where they can get more play time. Understand the process and know that Division I spots fill up really, really fast. If you think your son is a Division I athlete and they are not hearing from Division I coaches in their senior year, then you probably need to start looking elsewhere. When we start looking at trying to find the best fit, we really look for 3 things. 1, a good academic fit. Does that school even have the major that your son or daughter is interested in? We also look at the athletic fit. Will they get playing time in their first year, or do they have to wait till their second or third or even 4th year before they even see playing time? The culture and the environment of where they're going to go to school will also be very important. So between academics, athletics, and also the culture, we want to make sure it is a perfect fit all the way around and not just for the sport. Hey, here's something else to remember for you parents. Sometimes it's important to have that honest discussion with your son or your daughter about your financial situation. Talk to your student athlete about money you've set aside for college, what they might have to contribute, and remember, their GPA is their personal bank account. Hey, I know we went through this pretty quick, and I know there's always questions that you might have that maybe I haven't answered yet. So let me give you a few questions that I'm always asked when I'm out presenting and talking to parents and athletes. What about the team? If it's not good enough or it's not winning championships, can my son or my daughter still get recruited? My advice to you is don't change schools. Why don't you stay there and help that school become better? Again, college coaches recruit off video and what your son or your daughter can do based on marks, based on times, or based on what they can see on video. So transferring from school to school probably is not necessary. What's more important is that you're able to capture what your son or your daughter can do on video and make sure it gets to the coach so that they can identify if it's a fit. Here, another question that I get a lot is regarding the timelines. When should we really start the recruiting process? Well, you know, in certain sports it starts really early, whereas other sports it is a little bit later in the process. Let's take football, for example. Do you realize that at this time some Division I's and Power 5 conferences already have offers out to kids that are in 7th and 8th grade? But yet the college coaches, according to the NCAA rules, can't even talk to these kids until June 15th after their sophomore year or September 1st. But remember, college coaches are now searching online. They're able to pull up profiles. If your son has their information out there and their video and their transcripts, college coaches are allowed to look at that and review it and start creating lists. From there, they can start inviting kids out to camps and start to identify what their recruiting roster is going to look like. So in those times when the NCAA allows them to start talking to these kids, they're not starting the recruiting process, they've already started it. Now they're calling the list of athletes that they've already vetted out, are the ones that they want to start recruiting. And that's it. Guys, thanks for joining today. Those are my tips, and I hope they're helpful. So just to kind of recap what we talked about, remember the timelines. Help your student athlete know when they should be involved in the process and to take charge and take ownership of it. Coach them and develop them the best way you can, but again, let them be involved in their journey. Be supportive and let them make the decisions on the colleges that they're interested in and wanting to search. And last of all, remember, this is a process. Embrace it, enjoy it, and make this a good time and a great experience for your son and your daughter. If you have more questions or you need more help, NCSA is a full-service recruiting organization. We even have premium services that might be the right fit for you. So if you have questions, email them to us at webinars@ncsasports.org.